Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you for tuning in with us for another episode of the Retro Achievements Podcast, where we cover a variety of genres, topics, and discuss the bits and bytes of yesteryear. It's no secret that RA continues to grow each and every day, seeing alongside each new console release an influx of fresh faces. Beyond that, talks of multi-set, the streamlining of events, and otherwise more user-friendly features, we can only expect that registered user number to continue to escalate. The growing play base, however, can often lose its way, and requires guidance alongside a cohesive nature in order to remain true to what the community was originally intended to be. A place for all looking to have a fresh take on a nostalgic good time. For exactly that reason, I have my returning guest here tonight, Nepiki, to discuss the recent promotion to Community Manager, what that looks like behind the scenes, on an episode I'm calling Topic, True Blue Community Management. Nep, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, it's me again.
It is you again.
So last time I introduced myself with a very long introduction, and I don't think I will do that today because that's way too long. So, hi, it's me. I'm the modern community manager of Retro Achievements. And yeah, that's basically me. Hi.
Yeah, no, glad absolutely to have you back. Returning guest, one that we had a lot of fun with on last time. You were representing the writing team on the previous episode, and of course you've bitten off a lot more roles since then. Some far more significant than others, but I did want to get in on what you've been doing since then, maybe just on like a gaming perspective. Before we dive in on the big new role here, what have you been doing in the leisure time?
It's a good question because since last year I finally have my own house.
Oh, right.
Which is great. I finally have my own place. I've been searching for years. It's so long, but finally I have my own place.
Congratulations.
So yeah, that's been going great. Been having a blast of a time here. That's consumed most of my time. And aside from that, I've just been gaming.
I'm sure. I mean, being a new homeowner and everything is one of those things where you certainly immediately realize, oh God, I have to learn how to do so many things.
Yeah, I need to cook.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, learning as we go, but it does get easier. You do feel a little bit more confident the longer you live there and you learn ins and outs of your place. But glad to hear you got your own pad now. That's awesome news and rare these days. So happy you made it. You said you've been gaming.
A bit in between.
Anything in particular catching your eye?
Good question, actually, because lately I haven't really been playing that much. I've just been doing some SpongeBob games because I was bored. I did play some good games since then because I finally beat The Witcher 3.
Ah, gotcha.
That was a big one on my list.
Oh, very nice.
I've been keeping that for a while because last time I played it, I had a lot of blue screens on my computer, and that kind of annoyed me.
Ooh.
But I somehow got it working again, so
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to play it right now. I'm going to beat it, complete it. Before it crashes again, I'm going to complete it.
Take the opportunity while we have it.
But I finally have the completion there, and it's so great.
Oh, fantastic.
And aside from that,
So what else has changed since we last had you on? I feel like it's almost been about 6 months almost. A year? No, it's been over a year since we've had you on.
a year? Yeah, that's probably been the year.
Yeah, no, time's been flying. So you've got this house. Have any of your interests or things as it relates to your habits at RA changed beyond just the new role?
No, I'm just the same chill guy as always. Nothing really much changed. Just gaming, work, that especially, and then more gaming.
Refresh us on what do you do for work one more time.
I'm a tester for a airports company. We make applications for the airports, so everything behind the scenes. That's the software we make.
Oh, right. So, I mean, things that air traffic controllers and things like that would use, or
Yeah, exactly.
pilots themselves, or all of
Yeah,
it?
I'm the tester of the app, so I make the automated tests, and I hope that every night, every morning I wake up and every text is green, because if not, then I have to shout at someone, please fix this.
Oh god,
That's basically my job.
that is not a job you can fuck up lightly. Like, it's not like a whoopsie, I messed up at my job as like a waitress and dropped a customer's food. It's whoopsie, I fucking, oh god, that plane.
Yeah, if I mess up, we cannot do a new release anymore. Clients, they get impatient, and you know how it goes.
Sure, things pretty locked down tight, I'm sure.
They have to get past me. If everything's green, they can go. If everything's not green, then we have a problem.
All right, well, I mean, beyond that, I do want to dig in onto your topic, but we're going to do that right after a small break, and I will see you soon. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Retro Achievements Podcast. Sitting down with Nep here. Now we actually kind of want to get into it, though. The whole reason I have you on, this new community manager role. Something we hadn't seen before, something that's pretty fresh as far as I'm aware, and I don't know how much discussion it got to the general public. Admittedly, I'm not the most tapped into all the channels, but I didn't see it mentioned too much before it was announced. And it makes sense. As I alluded to in the intro, as we grow, we're going to need, if not mod by another name, somebody who just kind of wrangles those in a particular area. Start early, man. How did this happen? I know you've been around the website for a long time. Tell us how you got involved in, some of those first roles you bit off. Talk us through this.
All right, so let's go back to the very beginning of Nepiki. So where did I start? Yeah, at the beginning I was just gaming like everyone else and just spending some time mastering games. And then eventually I got into the Discord because I was like, I can probably find some like-minded people to talk to me. For a while, I didn't really talk though, because it's probably not really a secret that the main server is a bit cliquey, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if you don't really belong in, you can try to talk, but you don't really fit in.
If you're not a familiar face, you don't really stick out too much.
Yeah, exactly. So for a long time, I just didn't really talk, and eventually I got a bit more active, and I had that feeling that a lot of people get, like I want to contribute something to the community.
Absolutely.
But development, I just at that time I just did not see it happening. I just didn't really have that much time. It would take a lot of my gaming time away, and just didn't see that happening.
Sure.
So basically, what I did at the time was I'm going to try to get into one of the writing team in the RA News team.
Right.
Because writing, of course, is my hobby. Before I got to RA, I had a site where I wrote reviews and all that. So writing is something I really like doing.
Comes natural.
I didn't really know how to join, so I just DM'd a bunch of people who were supposedly in charge, like, hey, can I get on your team? And then they didn't reply, and then I DM'd another, and then I posted the forum thread and all that.
Rang all the bells.
Then eventually I got DM like, yeah, you can join the RA News team if you want, and you can join the writing team. So that's basically when I got started.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I took some roles onto myself. Basically with RA News, I have my own column for a while. I stopped doing it because I just don't really have the time anymore to do that.
Sure.
Just slowly over time, that was a team where I've come more into a organizational role. So I believe Mistro also mentioned that in the RA News episode, that I every half month I make sure everything's organized.
Yes, no.
As well as that I start the cover votes, and that's something I start.
Definitely keeping us on track and making sure things keep progressing smoothly. The mid-month ping of like, all right, let's go. Come on, where are we at?
Yeah, I try my best. Exactly. I just try to get everyone active and make sure that we get the RA News out at least in the same months, which has been a bit tough lately. But yeah, it's just how it is with bigger teams.
Absolutely.
You can't really force everyone to just do work because everyone has their own life. It just happens like it is.
Everybody's got things going on.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Hey, there's a reason the RI podcast is slowed down there for a minute.
Exactly.
Hoping to pick it back up, but that pesky thing called responsibility is looming.
I can totally understand that. I'm just someone who doesn't really have a lot of responsibilities aside from my house. When I'm not busy with my house or work, I just do whatever on the RA, pretty much.
No, for sure. From the writing team, from the news team, I mean, it's no far-fetched thing to say that you've become far more of a social face than a lurker at this point. You show up and everybody is elated to see you. You are known as the hamster. Like, everybody understands who you are and seems to, for 99% of the time I've seen, enjoy you being around. So where does it go from being a lurker to being on the RA news team doing this organizational capacity to starting to be that familiar face and starting to, evolve into what would eventually be this new role?
That's a good question because I was never really that social in the first place. I still am not really actually, which is kind of funny to say as a mod and community manager that I'm not really that social. But
2 episodes are a podcast, a giant feature in the what was a Retro Olympics news team, a huge community news poster. Show up, everybody goes with your own specific reactions and stickers. No, I'm not really that social.
I'm not really that social. No, not really. I can't really explain it, but it just sort of happened. Every time I tried to get more into general chat because, like I said earlier, it was a bit tough to get into, but once I actually got into it, it was kind of fun.
Sure.
Because the steady face is doing around, like, it is a barrier as much as it is a group that you like talking to. And that's just how I got talking.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
No, I could definitely see that. It's one of those things where on first entry, your first couple messages, I don't think I'd be the first to say that the general chat has a very unique flavor of people.
Yeah, that's to say the least.
And on your first joining, if you're seeing some of these things in the gaming channel, you're like, what is happening? Okay, I'll try to participate. And you throw those first couple of messages out. And you're right. You're brand new. You don't stick out much. You probably aren't fitting the vibe of the room because it's a very hard vibe to understand. And you get kind of awash. And it's up to you if you want to hang in there and, try to understand it, try to keep participating. And eventually, like you said, as much as it is a barrier, once you overcome it, you're like, oh, well, shit, this is fine. Now that I'm a little bit known around here, I know who these people are a little bit day after day, week after week. All right, this is no big deal anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you obviously overcame that barrier at some point. What was the next thing you've gotten? It certainly didn't jump from news and writing team directly to this community manager thing. What happened in between here?
Not exactly, no. It did help that I was, of course, the leader of the writing team. I've already gone into that last time, so I won't be covering all of that now because I don't need to explain how I rebuilt the writing team and all that. But that did help because every developer team and moderator and staff and whoever else, they kind of saw me as that leader who they can also reach out to for writing questions or, hey, the docs need to be updated or this news post needs to go out. Can you write it for us? Which was something that happened pretty frequently. I was in contact with a lot of teams if they wanted to have an update to the docs or whatever, that they would let me write it, or they just said like, hey, can you proofread this or whatever else. So basically, as a leader, I got a lot of contact.
All right, so you would have many people already approaching you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Talk to me about the foundation of the brickwork being laid to community manager. Like, was that an idea somebody had and then approached you? Was that something you came up with? Was this like, how far along in the process of this role did they approach you with the idea? I don't think anybody really knows as far as the like general green names are aware.
I mean, I would even say myself that I kind of forgot how it actually went. We just started talking. I usually talk with mods and admins and DMs. Like, for example, I talk a lot with Wes about mod improvements I can see to the side.
Okay.
We just talk, and then eventually it was brought up in general chat once about that RA could really use community manager. And I just let the mods decide, like, if they want to give me more responsibilities or not. Yeah, we basically got talking about the community manager. That idea that was mentioned in general chat, they approached me like, hey, Nepiki, is this something you want to try? And that's basically how it went. I had a short talk with some of the admins who we had an interview, like, how do you see the community manager? What will it add to retro achievements? How do you see yourself in the position and all that?
What did that look like? I mean, talk me through. You can't just like yada yada the interview there. Like, come on, it would tell us what happened in there. What were some of the, digging in on this and your responses? Were they challenging questions or were they things that were fairly intuitive?
Well, the main question that was like, how are we going to distinguish a mod from a community manager?
Mm-hmm.
Because of course everyone knows the mods, they are the police community. So what will the community manager do? Will they also be the police?
Right.
So basically what we landed on at that point was that the community manager is essentially a moderator. But what the community manager does is that rather than... Well, I'm not going to say that we as mods do that right now, that we just ban someone. But it's more like the community manager tries to resolve the issues before resorting to any moderation action.
Got you. So more de-escalation rather than straight up, hey, you've done something so egregious that immediately warrants the ban.
Yeah, exactly.
And that makes sense. And it points to the same thing I've brought up multiple times now, which is just with an ever-growing number of people, you're going to need more, I don't want to say control, but just like enforcement of the guideline. It's not a nefarious thing. It's just, I think each private area you enter has rules, and it's up to you to follow them. And if you don't, well, it's up to someone else to kind of show you the door.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very active in the community, so I hear from a lot of people what their issues are with already. That's also why I was often in as a DMs or whatever, or admin or not. Like, if I saw something repeated quite often, like, let's take, for example, that developers are not always happy with responses they get from dev compliance.
Sure.
I don't think that's really a secret. But another role also of community manager, from my eyes, was that, like, resolving issues for community. I would also mediate for the teams themselves, like, hey, this is what developers have issues with. Maybe we can do something about this to make sure that everyone has a nice playground.
So you aren't just resolving issues that are amongst the general users, you're actually communicating between developers and sometimes admins or dev-c or other intermediary teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. All right. I didn't think that was something that people are going to be aware of either. I mean, so you work as a mediary of sorts. I mean, how does that work? How does that look? I'm sure there's been some high tension disagreements, and certainly not to name names or sets. You know, keep all things anonymous here. But like, is there any situation that kind of sticks out to you, or anything that you could dive in on, kind of give us an idea what that could look like?
Let's grab a recent situation with that we're probably going to get into later as well. With the DLB rollouts that just got announced. So a lot of that was developers weren't really dissatisfied with the GameCube rollout, but they weren't exactly happy either, because the GameCube rollout, it had a lot of issues, like we didn't know an end date for the longest time, and when the end date was announced, the rollout only would last 1 more month. So one of my first tasks as community manager was researching the issues that the rollout had. So I got into contact with a bunch of devs, like, hey, what did you think of the rollout? What do you think we can do better?
Yep.
And that's what I passed on to the rollout team. And with the rollout team, I then sat down to create the entire doc of the process and how we are going to ensure that the issues that developers had with the previous rollouts, how they are going to get resolved. So that's also why the V rollout already has an announcement date, because the developers want to know it in advance, so they know how long they can work on the sets. And that's what we did.
Excellent. I mean, I'm sure that's a high pressure point for a lot of people. You know, it's hard to have a floating end date or, you know, no clear finish line, especially like we said, with all of this being community effort and life getting to us all at times, slowing things down.
Yep.
We need to figure out, I imagine for developers, it's looking at games going, all right, I might really like this game, but it's also a huge, massive RPG with tons of items and missables and things I have to track. Do I have the time to do this in as many months as we have?
That's especially important for Wii when you have a game like Xenoblade.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you really need your time for that.
A perfect example. And you couldn't be more right. You know, if you're somebody who's going to be targeting one of those big games, you need to make sure you have the time to do it justice. Especially as we get more advanced consoles on the map here, the games are only going to get longer. You know, they're only going to get larger. Sure, there'll always be shovelware or whatever, and you could use the small little WiiWare bullshit things to prove that statement wrong in that aspect. But there are going to be, with each new generation of games, bigger, longer, stronger, harder, more in-depth, more memory complex games to dissect, if not just because it's more difficult in the memory itself, but because there's just fucking more of it.
Yep.
And I think we're going to see a lot more, and not to speak out of pocket here, it's definitely not my place to call this shot. I'm not the guy who's saying it. I think if, you know, it only makes sense, the more consoles we announce, the newer the console, the longer the development release date window is going to be. For instance, I believe your video release said March to us, right? Tentatively March.
Yeah, March 19th, yeah.
Yes, so I think, like, you know, that's, what, 6 months from now? So
yep.
I believe in the future, say for Xbox, it would be maybe 8 months, maybe 9 months, you know, as we get to that next load of memory digestion, essentially.
Yeah, of course, very per console, but yeah, that could definitely be considered, yeah.
Yeah, it's no secret at this point. I know DOS is on the menu at some point here.
Thank God, yeah.
Yes, it's going to be a
Fucking
great
DOS.
time.
Let's go.
No, I'm honestly really looking forward to it because those little kind of not quite bite-sized games. There are definitely bigger DOS games, but it's nothing compared to like Wii. I am looking forward to that style of game hitting the market and getting a lot of action on RA.
I would trade Wii for DOS immediately. I love DOS so much. Give me all the scrolls. Give me Might and Magic with the Drill Ultimate. I love that. I would not play anything else. Give me DOS.
You're preaching to the choir. Yeah, I don't suppose you have any little insight on that special console, do you? Or platform?
It will happen, but yeah, it kind of depends.
All right, we'll just leave it at it will happen.
We only focus on one rollout at a time, so it's after Wii, it's definitely on the table again.
All right,
it will definitely happen. Yeah, absolutely.
So after taking over this community management role and handling some of these discrepancies between rollouts, which fantastic navigation, each new release we can hopefully to see less pain points, better relations, and a better experience from both players and developers alike. Again, without naming names or revealing anything that keeps these people anonymous. Not trying to shame and bring anybody down here, but I want to hear about some of the most what the fuck moments you've encountered so far by being community manager. One of these things that are either, did I really get pinged for this? Or, oh my God, why did I get pinged for this? You should call 911. These kind of situations. Has there been anything along the line that sticks out to you as, noteworthy? I'm sure you've got some tales. This is whatever the bad version of Cops. I want to hear that RA style.
Well, do I have a story for you? So, I've been doing the announcements for whenever we hardcore verify a new emulator. Like today we had Manic Emulator, and recently we also had Link Boy. Whatever else do we have? PS2 on Xbox. I do that a lot. I'm basically the news guy for that. So, a few months ago, we announced one that wasn't really too clear about what was in the premium features of that emulator.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of was a fault on our side, and we have resolved that now. We have an entire document on how we are going to proceed with that. But that was a bit of a mess because I made the news post and everyone was like, "We don't want this. Why are you supporting this?"
Oh
and,
no!
It got so far, and the emulator dev made a donation to Forge of Fiesta and Forge of Fiesta's politics, and suddenly politics were brought in, and it went so far that I had to close the thread.
Oh no! What is Forge of Fiesta?
Forge of Fiesta is for Palestine.
Ah, okay. So we're bringing politics into it. Gonna have fun. Always good on my retro gaming site.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I closed the threads, and then the next day I was like, okay, we'll start fresh. I'll just explain all the worries that people had.
Yeah. And
it didn't even took like 2 posts before it immediately went south again.
Oh God, no.
But then a user brought it to 4chan.
Oh, all right. Only the best discussions happen.
Yeah.
There. I'm sure it went perfectly after that.
Oh yeah, that went perfectly. It was. I received a bunch of death threats, especially on Discord when I say that 4chan, who cares for 4chan, and that was copied to that, and yeah, that was a mess.
Well, it sounds like it didn't end up working out. I'm able to talk to you, and it's still 4chan being 4chan. Never change, you fucking
idiots.
It's
4chan. I don't really care what to say. It was such a moment like, what? I'm trying to give the community more options to play emulators, and this is what I get.
You should fucking die! No.
And every time we announce an emulator that has a premium option, like today's emulator Manic, you also had that. It does have premium features.
Sure.
Though it's not really something I would say is essential. You can even sideload it if you want to, and then it's free.
I mean,
but even then I get comments like, "Oh, this emulator costs money. Why are you guys supporting this?" And it's like, I'm sorry for giving you guys options.
I was just going to bring it up where I'm sure there's a group of people out there that think RA is getting kickbacks for this kind of feature.
Yeah, we get
nothing.
Promotion. We get nothing at all.
No, it is just merely like, hey, Gary, look, there I am. That's all we're doing is pointing out, hey, we're now included in our feature in this emulator if you want to use it.
Yeah,
beyond that, it's the developer's prerogative.
Hey, can we have achievements? And we're like, yeah, if you do this and this and that, then yeah, you can have achievements. That's basically it. We don't even support them. We just give options.
Yeah, it's a handshake. Yeah, it has nothing to do with trading anything.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
merely like, oh, you want to include this feature? Sweet.
Yeah, so that's always a bit of a moment like, well, like, why am I even doing this?
I mean, that being said, thank God it's only something as small as, not small, but let's say as...
Nah, it's 4chan, who cares? Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. It's just fucking 4chan. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's been threatened on 4chan at least once, barely, even if you've posted.
Yeah, I would say that was like the most outrageous moment. Aside from that's actually pretty chill. Like sometimes, of course, I do get people like, you cannot do this, and then I'm like, I can't.
Oh no, I'm sure everyone's going to have that one thing that feels like it's personally targeted at them or breaks their heart, and you're doing this just to hurt me, and it's the most serious thing I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah,
exactly. You got to take a step back and no, calm down. This is just RA. It's relax.
It's just a hobby.
Exactly. That being said, I'm sure there's lots of instances where you are just called for a actual event or something that you do need to intervene on. I can't imagine this is a slow, we'll call it job, so to speak. How often a day would you say you get pinged?
Do we count DMs?
For the role.
Okay, the role doesn't get that, like, I guess it's fair to say like at least 10 times a day.
Oh, wow. All right. So you are intervening quite a bit. And out of those, how many are worth stepping in on and just, somebody being a little bit too overdramatic?
We do have a lot of overdramatic people, and also people who fight the overdramatic people. That's kind of annoying.
A little bit of mudslinging.
I do step in, and then it just say like, hey, shut up.
Yeah.
And if you don't shut up, then I'll just mute everyone. Just like, it does happen frequently, but most of the time it's just like, you're all adults. Please behave like adults. Really that hard.
Exactly. We're devolving back into middle school tactics, and I swear to God, I will put this chat into slow mode if I have to, is the equivalent of I will turn this car around.
Exactly.
No, and I mean, hey, it's something that has to happen every now and then. I can't keep bringing it up enough, and I know it's something I've harped on a lot, but we're going to see a lot of new faces. I can't. Look at how when PS2 dropped, we exploded. Like, for a while there, it was every day. And it's not just in the registered users on the site during that time. We actually had a lot more Discord traction as well. I don't have the hard numbers to back that up, but just based on how much the channel was flying by, how many people had that little green leaf next to their name, like, we had a lot of fresh faces on board who were of the social type. When Wii comes along, that's going to be a console that, is in a generation's memory that definitely knows how to use social media and definitely was brought up on it always being around pretty much. I personally believe that Wii is going to be the first console where we get just absolutely hammered traffic-wise with fresh faces who want to be in the Discord because that's where they're used to communicating. That's where the first generation who once they were old enough, BBS wasn't their things, forums weren't their things, Discord, instant messenger applications like this with a whole built-in friend function were their thing.
I definitely believe that as well, especially based on how the response was to the teaser that I made, because for Twitter alone grew by like 500 followers at the very least. It got retweeted like so many times. It got 2k likes. It's massive. It's absolutely massive how many people suddenly hear about retro achievements and were like, yeah, I want to be part of this too. So I can definitely believe that we will be one of our biggest rollouts.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely on board with it. I'm excited for it, and I know the catalog is absolutely massive. Speaking of that teaser, sidebar, I gotta give you a shout out. Yoshida Brothers using the actual music from the fucking commercial, and what got me into listening to a small stint of shamisen music, my man, that was a choice. It hit the nail on the head. It got everybody hype, and I think there was a reason it got retweeted a lot. Both that generational gap between consoles and just the fact that it's solid job, my well-produced solid job.
So proud. I hadn't made a video in years, and then I made this, and I've watched it like at least 100 times. I'm like, God, this is so good.
Right, and that's how you know it's good.
Myself, but it was so good.
It's one of those things like, normally if you're not doing it right, everyone's their biggest critic, their own biggest critic. Either with me listening to my podcast, or I'm sure developers with their own games, they'll look at code years later after making a set and go, my God, I could have done that so much better.
Oh yeah, every day.
So if it's a sign that you can watch your own things back and go like, this is fucking awesome. That is perfect. That is perfect. That means you hit your apex for the time that you are right now. Great job on that.
Thank you.
But that being said, I 100% think that you are on the money as well. It being passed around social media so much is a sign of we are going to have users who, now it's a console they give a shit about. Now we have the young kids who got brought up on social media. This was their Super Nintendo to us, you know?
Exactly.
And I don't know what that new Wild West is going to look like, because once we get invaded by young kids, I'm going to be fucking unk.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us are going to be unk.
Get off my lawn.
Yes, exactly. They're going to be like, oh my God.
Sometimes I feel like I'm dealing with children already, so I can handle it.
But tis. Yeah, no, I bet you do. That role's going to attract a lot of it.
Yeah.
Either way, man, it's something I don't think it could have gone to a better person, frankly. You kind of bridge the barrier between blue and dev. I'm speaking off the cuff here, but to my memory, if it serves me right, every other blue name at this time, barring you, is a developer. So it almost was a barrier of entry, or seemingly could represent one, where we're not going to respect you as somebody who's higher in the community unless you can do X, Y, Z, which in this case was developing. Was it a surprise to you that you were approached despite not being a developer, or was that something that you just thought, you know, hey, I could see why they did it because I'm around the community a lot and I already have these ties? Or I think a lot more people looked at that as a bit of importance or bit of a highlight, let's call it, in that transition. So what does that look like to you?
Yeah, it makes sense that people would think that because, of course, the mods and admins that we do have, either they are a dev or they are just very technically involved. Like, of course, people like Lucas and Elmo, they are not devs, but they are very much in the database.
For sure.
So they know how to get their game running. So basically, yeah, I am the only non-developer mod. I'm not necessarily surprised that they reached out to me, but that's mostly because of my ties to the writing team and how involved I was with every team because of that.
Sure.
That indirectly just gave me a lot of respect within the staff and developers, and to the point that even developers are like, yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense that this guy is now a mod community manager guy.
I was going to say, I don't think that's anything to be worried about of, can I say this about myself? If anything, I would use that as more of a, you know, a sign of good faith, a sign of opportunity, a sign that there isn't this invisible hurdle of dev. I mean, you're somebody now that we can point to that is a perfect example of, no, it doesn't have to come out to churning sets as a prerequisite to be somebody important in this community. Everybody from, if you were on the art team to the writing team, the news team, I don't care what team you're on, there is a level of importance you carry, even just as a player. I mean, hell, we could all do this, and if there wasn't anybody around to play or read or listen to it, well, we're just kind of talking to ourselves in a cave. So I think everybody here is a bit important, but use that as an opportunity to see that it can be done by anybody rather than being worried of, can I say that about myself? It's a good thing to say, and hopefully other people can say it about themselves in the future.
And I cannot stress it enough that there are so many ways to contribute to RA. You don't have to make sets. There are so many ways to contribute. And I cannot stress it enough. And we are going to build even more features to get people more involved. Like Wes has been talking about it a few times, like how we want to make guides to the site and guide comments and all that.
Yes.
There are multiple ways to contribute to RA, and whatever you do, even if you just leave a comment, as long as it's not, you know, those comments. I mean,
all right, yes, that's not curl the monkey paw wish, yeah.
But even if you just say a comment like, hey, this achievement, I got it by doing this and that, that's helpful to the community. If you make a ticket, like this stopped at the wrong time, that's helpful. Like,
absolutely.
There are so many ways to contribute. You don't have to be a dev. Just look at me.
I couldn't back up that more. I'm not a huge, let's just say, capital G gamer. I'm not too greasy. And I don't stress myself over a lot of the playing of the games, but I can specifically recall there have been a few achievements that I really wanted to get, and one of the first things I found was, I'm not going to be able to find the answers to this on places like GameFAQs. GameFAQs isn't going to have a fucking guide to the RA set. Where do I turn? The comments for the achievement. Lo and behold, numerous people with several different strategies. And hey, if one didn't work for you, there's another one in line. These people didn't do it for any sort of credit. They didn't do it for recognition. It was fellow community member helping fellow community member. And even something as small as that, I think is important because it shows, there's a level of mutual respect and growth trying to be built up here. Everybody wants to help everybody do a little bit better. And I think that's one of the only ways we're actually going to get there.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot raise appreciation for the people who make these comments enough, because genuinely that is the easiest way to contribute, and one of the best ways as well. If you know that, just helping out people, that's important.
For sure. Well, we do have a little bit more to dive in on. I want to ask a handful of more questions, but we are going to do that right after we get back.
Hi, I'm Nidaxon, and I'm inside your podcast again. Nepiki.
Hi!
You play video games, right?
I love video games.
Oh, great. So it's safe to say that you're pretty familiar with them,
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, well today we're going to test that in a segment I like to call 3 characters or less. I have prepared for you 11 questions, where I will give you 1 to 3 character names from games that you've played, and you have to tell me which game they are from.
Alright.
Why 11 questions? Because 1 is the loneliest number, so we gave it a little friend. A little friend that looks exactly like it.
I appreciate that. Every question is welcome.
All questions are valid. Questions will go from easy to difficult, and I can assure you in advance that all these questions are completely serious and there are no jokes or tricks to be found here.
That's good.
If you win, you get an all-expense-paid trip to a 5-star hamster hotel where you can run freely and eat as many hamster pellets as you want.
Yo, no way. Let's go.
Wait, do we have the budget for that? Whatever, my job is just to deliver this quiz, and then that is not my problem. Question 1. This game takes place in a fierce battle under the sea. The characters are Sandy, Patrick, and SpongeBob. What game is this from?
It's from SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
It is, correct!
Yippee!
Okay, you got 1. Number 2. This game is the second game in its series. The characters are Cappy, Waddle Dee, and Mr. Frosty.
Kirby's Adventure?
Yes, it is!
Yeah, let's go.
Wow, you're doing really well so far.
Thank you. I love video games.
You might get all the questions right.
Oh?
And number 3. The PC-88 had almost 500 games created for it in the 10 years that it was in production. What's 13 times 88?
There's... 1120.
Oh, I'm sorry. The answer is actually 1942 for the PC-88. If you remember the rules, your answer had to be the name of a game, so no points here, sorry.
Okay, I get it.
Question 4. This is a very colorful game. The characters are Yacker, White Wisp, and Miles Prower.
Alright, that's Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
It's Sonic Colors, but same series, you still get it.
Alright, let's go.
You got it right. Number 5. The set for this game is worth 555 points. The characters are Murphy and Reflux.
I do know this one, but I'll probably throw out a random one. I don't know, Blubber. I don't know.
Close on time period, but the correct answer is Rayman Hoodlum's Revenge.
Oh, right, of course. That's
for the GBA. It was kind of the same era of video games.
Yeah, I should have known that.
That's fine, you're doing great. Number 6. The characters are Sora, Thor, and Dr. Friendship.
Kingdom Hearts?
Nope. The correct answer is the hack Pokemon Glazed version.
I sure did play that.
You absolutely did.
Yeah, I even made a guide for it.
Oh, That's your own damn fault.
And I still don't know.
Yeah, this is going to reflect my opinion of you going forward.
Yeah, I know.
Surprisingly, though, this is the first episode I've been in where I haven't mentioned Kingdom Hearts. Oh, wait. Damn it.
Alright, not for long.
Number 7. Kirby has eaten a lot of different things over the years, but there's one specific game where he's eaten a particularly large amount of things. How many unique games are there in the Kirby series?
36.
The actual answer is 45. But you were very close.
That was close enough.
Yeah. Also, 45, wouldn't you know it, is the name of an indie game on Steam. Completely unrelated and not sponsored.
Yo,
I don't even know what that game is about because I can't be bothered to do that much research.
I'll like that.
Number 8. Fun fact, I haven't played this game. The characters' names are Cappuccino and Mocha.
Cinnamon roll, sorry. I meant cinnamon.
Specifically the game Shinamon Baru Kuru Kuru Suitsu Paradaisu for the Nintendo DS.
I know words.
Yeah, of course you got it. How could you possibly get that one wrong?
Yeah, that's right. I have to get that one right.
Yeah. What do you got, like 5 or 6 games on there from that series?
I have every single Master Cinnamon roll.
Oh my god.
I was probably like the first person to do that.
You might be the only one who's done that.
And to keep my honor high. Yeah, probably.
Well, I'm gonna have to play them now. Just to take that crown away from you.
They're actually quite good. Actually quite fun on their own, I think.
It's like a little puzzle game, right? Like a slidey puzzle?
Yeah. There's like 2 kind of floaty platformers and 1 pinball game.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, it's quite fun.
I'm getting recommendations. This is great.
Yeah.
I can crank them out on my 10-mile-a-day walks.
Draconia's even played it.
Oh. Well, in that case, I have to.
Yeah, he played a pinball game. You must love it.
Yeah. Moving on. Number 9. Fun fact, I have played this game. The characters are Prince, Genie, and Salim.
Bender of Oasis?
Yes! Wow.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
didn't think you were gonna get that one for the Game Gear.
Yeah, the game is awesome. I love it.
Really good game.
I love the game.
Yeah, it had a like a really unique setting for a JRPG that you usually don't see.
Yeah, it was kind of like Dragon Quest, but in the desert.
Like a Middle Eastern Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad you like that. Okay, the final 2. We're getting into hard mode now. Number 10, just one character. DJ Striker.
DJ Striker.
DJ Striker.
I have no idea. Sonic is like All-Stars Racing.
No, Burnout 3 Takedown. He's the announcer.
Oh, he's the commentator dude, isn't he?
I don't know, do they even mention that in
Yeah.
game, or is that like a guidebook thing?
Yeah, he does. I just forgot it.
Okay, I've never played it, so I'm guessing at this point.
You should. Burnout's so good. You really should.
There are, honey, I have so many games that I have to play.
Relatable.
Okay, last question. The 3 characters are Sandy, Cappy, and Panda.
All right. Well, I don't know what this one is, but it should probably be Hamtaro.
Yes! Oh! If you got this wrong, I was gonna be
It
like...
could be any of them, but if I had to give a guess, Hamtaro, Ham Heartbreak.
It was Hamtaro, Hams Unite, exclamation point.
Yeah. It's basically the same game.
They're probably all in every game,
Yeah.
so it doesn't...
I just on my point.
You did it. You answered the questions. You got the hamster question right. This has been 3 characters or less. Your final score is... 6 points. That's more than half. You win.
Yeah.
You definitely won that trip to the Hamster Hotel.
Yo, let's go.
Of course, some exclusions may apply. Hamster Hotel does not actually exist. Contest not available to those outside the contiguous United States. Hamsters are not in fact people, so they cannot enter contests. Night Action is not authorized to run contests for the Retro Achievements podcast. Who has the money to run a 5-star hotel just for hamsters? Seriously. In this economy, void were prohibited, which is here. Don't at me.
But just in my dreams.
So yeah, we'll be in touch about that. Don't call us, we'll call you.
But one day we'll build the hotel, and then I can go there.
Well, on the bright side, if you lost, we were gonna set the hotel on fire and say it was you.
Oh yeah, I do that often, so it's not the first time that happened.
Okay, well, this is the end of the segment. Oh, shoot. Time Crush is coming back from his bathroom break. If anyone asks, this never happened and you never saw me.
everybody. Welcome back to the Retro Achievements Podcast. Still carrying on a little bit with Nepiki here. Want to get a little bit more involved on not only what we've been playing lately, but the things outside of RA's direct website itself. Being a community manager doesn't just involve handling the Discord or handling the forum. Sometimes it involves the social media. Sometimes it involves tapping in on Reddit. Maybe it's the Twitter. Maybe it's fill in the blank, but there's so many extracurricular activities here. You could say the backlog is damn near infinite. So, Nep, tell me, how do you handle it?
I love that pun. That was a good pun. I love that. But yeah, not something I necessarily signed up for, but that kind of just happened, is that I basically became in charge of the social media, as well as some other stuff like...
Which one specifically, if you don't mind my asking?
Twitter, Blue Sky, and Reddit, specifically.
All right. And
of course, with Discord, I'm heavily involved. Like at the beginning of this year, we did this entire Discord rework of channels.
Absolutely. And I, for one, say it looks a lot cleaner, and I think functions a lot cleaner, so solid job on that.
Yeah, that was like one of my first jobs, because I got the moderator role, and I suddenly saw like a million channels, and I saw how there were like so many developer channels in one category, and it was like, no, this cannot go on.
This will not be.
But they're not going to change. So, of course, in Discord, I'm heavily involved. But yeah, Twitter, Red, and Blue Sky, those are like the platforms where I make at least 2 posts a day.
Oh, wow.
I'm usually promoting new sets or events, or sometimes I just ask random questions to get people engaged.
Gotta keep that algorithm going. I know traction and consistency is a big key on that.
Yeah, and I'm normally not really much of a social media person, because every social media of myself died, like after a few posts, but I've been keeping it up. And yeah, like I said earlier, with Twitter, we got like 500 new followers with the Wii announcement, but in general, ever since I took over, the follower accounts like double. And Blue Sky is almost at 2K.
What are our numbers sitting at, would you say?
Twitter is at almost 7K, so that's also pretty good.
Beautiful. And what does our average post on Reddit get upvote-wise? How are we looking there? I'm not really sure how to measure that metric.
No, that's the only... Okay, I'm going to be honest for a bit, and I know that Wes won't really like me say this, but Reddit is like the platform I have to force myself to get to. I don't like going there. I'm so sorry. I just hate Reddit.
No, you're totally fine. I tried to do it myself with the RA podcast for a little bit. I think I got like 3 episodes in, and I'm like, this just ain't me. I can't do this. So, yeah. Nope.
But we do get a lot of engagement there, because we have been considering, like, do we really want to keep doing this? But to be fair, the Reddit does bring in a lot of people. It gets a lot of visitors, a lot of contributions.
That's what I was just going to say. I enjoy browsing the contributions to the Reddit threads.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I like seeing what people post. To shill my own shit on there, or whatever you would be posting on Twitter or Blue Sky, it feels strange to me. I don't know. It's just nothing I could wrap my head around.
Yeah, I just wake up every day, I make a post, and after dinner I make a post, and just grab some new sets, write a story about them, like, hey, Rayman just released Rayman Revolution. This game has so many levels, this is the upgrade, so you can play it now, have fun. Yeah,
Sure. I guess maybe that's my issue there, is I have a problem keeping it brief when it gives me so much room to type text, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. I can't make it. Shit, well, it's just an episode. It's just listen to it if you want to, I guess. Bye.
I do have a secret for that. I just look at the box art, because the box art, of course, they were always made to be educational. So people would read them and they get like, oh wow, this game is so cool. So basically all I just do is I look at the box art, grab some interesting text, and put it in Twitter.
Okay.
That's basically how I do it.
So the equivalent for my podcast would be I wait for Nadaxon to create the art for it, and I look at it, and I try to inspire some shit to ramble on about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Great. All right, I'm on it. I'm going to do great. All right, so...
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, dude, it has been fucking fantastic talking to you, but I do want to take a step back a little bit from the community manager thing. Just final thoughts on becoming community manager. I want to say, again, glad to have you aboard that ship. Yeah, I think you bring a lot of positive attitude to the community. You have a good habit about de-escalating the situation rather than getting involved. I don't think, if someone put a gun to my head, I could tell you one time I've seen you throw mud. So, solid on you. Glad to have you in that position.
Thank you.
But any final words for you on community manager before we kind of take a step back and talk about some lighter-hearted stuff?
Alright, so as you may have noticed that somewhere this year I went from green to blue. There was kind of a organizational change because nobody actually picked the community manager role, like nobody actually did that. So it felt kind of pointless, so I was like, I'll just take on the mod role.
Sure.
Because as community manager I was always already a mod. But
Right.
then I realized when I was on the team, I would consistently answer questions that were asked to our admin, or I would actually take moderation actions, and I was like, I will still moderate in my own way, but I might as well just say that I'm just a moderator at this point. So basically, I'm both now. I'm a community manager and a moderator. Because I guess what I want to say with that is that community manager is, we're not exactly sure what we're doing with this role right now, besides, of course, what I do myself. So I guess community manager, it's more that I just manage the news now, I guess, in a way.
I would like to think that you touched on it without even realizing you did. And the important part, if I could give you something to take home, and I hope you take home, is so far you've been extremely human, extremely personable, extremely approachable, extremely polite, friendly, and respectable. And that is the way you moderate. I think that is what exemplifies community manager. You handle it with grace, a stiff upper lip, a fine, tucked collar. You're looking good, you're looking clean, and you're acting respectable.
Thank you.
Carry that forward.
That's also what I want to enforce with the community manager, because when we made the community manager, we didn't just want it to be like, oh, hey, here's a mod. We wanted it to give a bit of power behind it. Like, we announce this, and people will automatically get, this guy is one of us. I cannot say it in another way.
No, I definitely think you're on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just a random dude that got blue and is now flexing. Not to say I'm saying anybody in particular, please do not take that as offensive. But you are, one of the community that just worked their way up through the community. So you have every right to say
and I'm the guy who will be on the side of the community at all times.
Yeah, so...
And I think that was an important statement to make, because, they could have made me mods right away, and everyone would be happy still, but I would also just be another mod.
Exactly.
But when I became community manager, people were like, this guy will fix issues that are within the community.
This feels good. This feels representative.
That's something important
right.
I do want to stress, because that was very important behind the decision as well. There's a different meaning than just being a mod.
I 100% agree. And that is exactly why you're getting this episode. It wasn't to have you on to discuss, why are you another mod? I could cover that in 10 minutes. But, how
Exactly.
you developed yourself in a community, that's an entire episode in itself. Stepping back a little bit, let's talk a little bit about what we've been playing. I'm taking a look at your game wall. I'm seeing what's going on here. I'm seeing an unhealthy amount of SpongeBob, frankly. Not only Battle for Bikini Bottom on the GBA, such an old set, but we're just getting around to it. 2 more. One on the GBA, one on PS2. Why are we in Bikini Bottom so much? What are we doing?
I don't know if I have an answer to that. I just, how it goes when you're just working a long day, then you do some hurry work, and you're like, I'm just so tired.
I need some mindless games.
Yeah, SpongeBob was basically that. Like, I could play Spyro, but I've already played Spyro like a million times, so I was like, look at the best next thing. That's pretty much SpongeBob.
Hold on. This is news to me. Does it play anything like Spyro?
Oh, no, not really. It's just mostly a brain that's collected on.
Oh, that level of brain. Alright, requirement. Alright.
Yeah, because Spyro is also my brain up games. Like, I love it to bits. It's like one of my favorite platformers ever, but it's also like super brain dead.
Now, one I'm actually down with. I have a hard problem with licensed games. Like, those movie games, it's just a difficult thing for me to get into. The actual only one I remember having a good time with, because I fell for this fucking trick many times, boys and girls. I would see the movie, see the TV show or whatever, and of course, once you're in the fucking Blockbuster or whatever, this ancient relic of a museum we used to have, I had to see the game, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be great, because the movie was great. Fine, it was dog shit. The only one I actually had a good time with was on, I believe it was the Xbox 360, so you're gonna have many, many more years before you get to understand what I'm talking about. Pirates of the Caribbean. It had this...
right, yeah. I remember which one you mean.
It almost felt like the Warriors on the PS2 from the generation before, where, like, you're running around as... It almost blended with that Lord of the Rings game where you could switch out the 3 characters. Because you could change out between Captain Jack and fucking whoever Orlando Bloom was. I don't know. It's been too damn long. But that was a fantastic licensed game. Everyone has burnt me. Would you say these SpongeBob games are at least tolerable, or is it shovelware?
I probably still have to get to the tolerable ones. I have like 10 messages right now, and everyone is like a 6 out of 10 or lower. But apparently, Bikini Bottom for the PS2 is going to be pretty good, so I'm looking forward to that one.
I've seen so many people. So there's 2 licensed games that I've seen so many people master, and it's Battle for Bikini Bottom and like 8 copies of Goin' Quackers. Goin' Quackers particularly has a place of pure hatred for it in my heart, because dumbass me was at Blockbuster as a little one, and he rented it on the PS2, and he went home and he's like, hey, let's play this. Hey, he doesn't like it. Okay. A couple weekends go by, sees it on the GameCube, and he's like, maybe it's like the Super Nintendo and Sega, you know, because those were different. They were never the same game. They were always developed different, so maybe I like the GameCube. It's the same fucking game.
Yeah, I thought that was
I wasted my rental again.
The PS1 will be different, but the Dreamcast now they're the same speed, so yeah.
No, terrible time.
I must admit that I do like the PS1 game though, because I'm not even that big of a Crash Bandicoot fan, but that one was actually pretty fun. I like that one.
That was a series I absolutely loved growing up. I think it was because my dad and uncle had a good time with it. It was something I watched them get together and like pass the controller back and forth out along. I haven't played anything past Crash 3, so I hope I still love that series. I don't know.
I need to give that all a try again, to be honest. I only played Crash 1, but I think it's commonly accepted that Crash 1 is not really that good. And that kind of soured my experience, but I've heard that Crash 2 is like a lot better, so maybe I should just give it a try.
Yeah, Crash 1, they were definitely learning their ropes. My perfect one is Crash 3, just because they really fleshed the shit out and it felt a lot more complete. But Crash 2 is definitely not a bad starting point. As for myself, been digging in a bit on Pokemon Blue. I know that just got unmerged not too long ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've gotten a lot of community pings about that.
Do you know the story about how I was the strongest soldier of the unmerged gang, that I did not want any sets unmerged, I only wanted merged?
No, but now you have to tell me the story.
Did you know we have to make the announcement that games are going to get unmerged?
Oh.
Did you know where to make the docs? Yeah.
Paint a target on the front of your face and go out there and tell them.
I had to do the thing that I didn't like.
Oh, man.
In the end, it's all fine because I just want consistency and not really those weird exceptions like, oh yeah, this one is merged, but this one is not. It just annoyed me.
You got to give me a little bit of juicy details here. No names, no punishment, but what are some of the things that you were told behind closed doors that were just the most unhinged?
We got so many comments that were like, oh, but I was playing Pokemon Blue, but now my achievements are on red, and this is bad, and now I have to play the game again, because you totally wouldn't do that. You will.
But nothing as extreme as, like, I'm quitting the site, or I'm DDoSing, or I'm, something crazy.
Not, no. It was actually pretty chill, for the most part.
Alright, you know what? Glad to hear it, and unexpected. I thought for sure people were gonna lose their shit to a higher degree than that. Alright, you know what? I can take some bitching. Good for you, RA. We'll give you that.
I thought so too, but to be honest, no. There of course were comments like, this is bad, but it's just the usual.
Yeah, no, you're allowed to be pissed or whatever, but I'm glad nobody... See, I was expecting there was several, like, I'm gonna find you type messages.
I must say, because it was always a bit of a stigma that Pokemon cannot be revised because you will get the angry Pokemon fans against you.
Yeah.
But Pokemon Emerald was, it's probably not the best example, actually. Because Pokemon Emerald did get some hate. But Pokemon Leaf Green also got revised, and for the most part, it has been pretty good.
Yeah, and I think Gala handled the Pokemon Blue set fairly well here. I'm playing through it right now. I'm just about to enter Celadon City. I'm having a good time with it. I'm looking at the achievement list here, and it's nothing I can't do, and that speaks fucking volumes. If I can do the game, that means it's very approachable as long as you stay diligent. The only thing I'm going to really have to watch out for, and it's not even a missable, is just making sure I find all the little hidden items. And, oh no, if I miss one, what does that mean? I just have to pull up a fucking guide and go back through with the Pokefinder and find the one I missed? That's not the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah, but then there's the invisible items.
Wait, what?
You don't know about the invisible items?
You're fucking with me.
I didn't say anything, no worries.
No.
You know, like, you have the item finder for, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I was saying. Okay, the item finder is what I'm talking about.
Everything. Yeah, okay.
Okay, I thought you were telling me there was items that even the item finder didn't bleep for, and I'm like, oh my fucking god.
No. I don't think you have to worry about that. No.
Yeah, this was a game I poured so much time into as a kid. Blue was actually my version I chose, and I had a Charmander that knew like 3 HMs and I think Slash. It sucked. I was fucking 6 maybe. I don't know. But playing this game and getting to go through it now again with, because I didn't play the Red and Blue merge, so getting to go through it again with this kind of set, having a great time, having a fun ass nostalgia romp. Speaking of nostalgia romps, I see on your list Kirby's Adventure. Now, great title on the NES. I actually started playing a little bit of that myself on RA. I'm definitely not going to get to the point where I master it, but still a good game. Anything draw you to that? Something you played as a kid? It was something I played as a kid, or was it easy points for you? What's attracting you to that one?
It was both easy points as well, yeah. Because Kirby, I don't really have much issue with that. But I also wanted to, what I do on the backlog, because I have to plug that again every 10 minutes, otherwise it starts exploding. That's not good.
Yeah, it's like Crank, but for the website. I get it.
I have to do it. What I try to do is that I do a retrospective of entire franchises, and in this case Kirby. So what I do is I play through a series chronologically. It's also kind of what I'm doing with SpongeBob right now that I think about it. I played through an entire series, not back to back because otherwise I'll get burned out. But what I do is I leave a short review for every Kirby game, for example, then I rank them on the list.
Oh, okay. So it behooves you to do them in a series.
Yeah, exactly. So where I'm at with Kirby right now is Kirby 64. I beat that recently. It was a really fun game. Kirby GBA I'm pretty much done, so I'm going to be moving on to the DS soon. That's going to be a bit of a struggle because that really wants touchscreen to be used, but conveniently they recently started making those Fantasy 3DS consoles, and I've got one of those pre-ordered, so I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm trying to see here. I see your Kirby games. The one on the N64 where you could mash 2 powers together. I believe it was Crystal something. Have you?
Yeah, Crystal Shards. Yeah.
Have you played that?
Yeah, I played it. Yeah.
Mastered?
Not mastered because that is one of those sets that I probably don't think I'll ever master.
I mean, totally fair to you. You don't have to explain those reasons to me. Look at my played versus master wall and you will see a sad tale. But that was, I believe, actually my first introduction to Kirby. It could have been Super Smash Brothers. I don't know which one of those games came out first. But I do remember just having an absolute blast. Another game I've been kind of getting into, definitely outside the saga of things like Comfy, Kirby, and Pokemon, with the release of the second season of the TV show, really been diving in on a series called Twisted Metal. Are you familiar now?
I still have to get into it. I really want to, but there are just so many games that I have to get into.
Completely understand.
It looks exactly like my thing, but I just haven't really gotten the time to yet.
I mean, what's been driving me back to this game series, for one, I grew up on it. My dad was a big gamer, and I remember watching him play on the Atari Jaguar, I believe they had a copy of Dragon Slayer that was much like the arcade recreation, so all the way back from then, Doom, Wolfenstein, Crash Bandicoot, like I said, him playing with my uncle and that kind of thing. And eventually, this hot new fucking game called Twisted Metal came out, and when it dropped, it was at like the perfect era of when hair metal started to become what now I consider like dad rock. It's not. It's probably called classic rock at this point, and that makes me a little sad, and I need to start looking at grave plots.
Yeah.
It had this perfect vibe, vehicular combat, barely any story to it. The whole premise from the first game was there's a vehicular combat tournament on Christmas Eve. This mysterious person is said to be granting any one wish, no matter how unrealistic or unachievable. He'll give it to you. And the only thing you have to do is survive. And from there, it decided, alright, that was the 15 seconds of story we have to give to you. Listen to some badass music and start shooting missiles at each other. So, somehow, 30 goddamn years later, practically, people decide they want to make a TV show out of this thing. Sure, there was 4 PS1 games, 1 PS2 game, and another 2012 attempted reboot that only had 3 drivers that, frankly, I don't really like that much, but fuck you.
Don't think it's a good plan.
3 and 4 were the worst received games out of the entire thing, and it's because it didn't involve the creators of the series. Sony kind of ran away with the project, but as soon as they got involved with the PS2 entry once again, it immediately became a hit. And, you know, even if you don't play Twisted Metal, I bet if I said the name Sweet Tooth, you would know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's the clown man. I know him.
Exactly. The flaming-headed clown guy. So even to people who haven't played it, it's become a little bit transcendent in terms of characters. Rob Zombie was not only featured in the soundtrack, but in the 4th game, he was a fucking racer in the Dracula.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, so I've just been absolutely in love with seeing this game I grew up on become one of the very, very, very few TV adaptations where I'm like, this actually rocks. And I would argue it's because the source material didn't have a lot to build off of. There wasn't a ton of story in these games. It was just, let's shoot each other in our cars because we're gonna. And a lot of the other TV series that you see get a lot of love, but also a lot of hate. Looking at you know, The Last of Us and other Resident Evil. That was a movie adaptation, but still.
Yeah.
You see them get a lot of appreciation, but also a lot of hate because the source material is so strong. Every time you deviate from it, there's going to be that diehard fan base that gets really, really pissed off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas Twisted Metal didn't have shit really to build off, except for like very late biographies of the characters. And even the things that they did twist off from, they kind of made sure to nod at the thing they knew they were going away from or reference it. Because again, since there wasn't a lot, it only took you 5 seconds of dialogue or 10 seconds of screen time to show something that was like, hey, we understand we're doing this different, but we're doing this different. And I can't wait for it. You haven't played a single one of these games.
Certainly not, I really should. I even heard that one of the games has like a stage that's based on Holland, and it even has windmills and klompen and Dansen de Vrouwen and all that.
Oh, absolutely. You can blow them right the fuck up, and then I believe, if I'm recalling correctly... No, hold on now. If I'm recalling correctly, the blades start rolling down, and if you time it right, you can crush people with them. So you want to do that.
But not in my country. We cannot do that. Let those people on the klompen dance. We cannot do that.
This is like sacrilege, no?
Good evening, friends.
My name is Calypso, and I'm hosting a Twisted Metal audio-based competition of destruction and vehicular slaughter. I'm seeking participants far and wide throughout the RA community who feel they deserve a seat in the Derby ring. Do you know how to race? Do you have knowledge that gives you a leg up in this franchise? Furthermore, what is your grand wish, and how would you devise a car to stand the thrashing that is the Retro Achievements Twisted Metal? I'll be granting every contestant who chooses to compete a few things. Number 1, your car will be spec'd around 4 categories: handling, armor, speed, and your special weapon. As most all of the games have set a standard. Number 2, your vehicle will be built of your own design. I want to hear what it looks like, how it functions, how the special really plays into tearing down your competition. Don't be afraid to lean into creativity or personalization here. Racers, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, as they say. Number 3, to gain and allocate these stat points, we will be rolling a D8 4 times. After the 4th roll, you are free to allocate these points to your respective stat allotments. Number 4, from there, after all stats are awarded, I will have each of you on for a small 15 to 20 minute segment discussing your death machine, your familiarity with the series, why you should win, and ultimately, your wish. In the end, I'll compare all vehicles, specials, familiarities as a bonus, and mash them up against one another, leading to a mathematical victory. I will privately reach out to that contestant and have them back for one 15-minute record to receive their wish and grant it. And once again, I thank you for playing Twisted Metal.
No, it's one of those things that, hey, if it happens, it happens. But either way, Nep, I've been so happy to have you here. Any final words on closing out the community manager role or things you want listeners to take home? Obviously, I asked you this question last time when you were on previously, but it's been a while. Things have changed. They're always changing. If you don't keep up, you're going to be left behind. What do you want to tell the folks?
Nothing much different from last time, but I guess from a moderator's perspective, my main advice is like basically what I did with the code of conduct reminded lately. Don't feed into the drama too much or the negativity. Just have fun, play games, make it a safe space for everyone because we have people from all cultures. Just have fun. Accept that not everyone can talk English well. Basically, just respect each other. That's the main thing I want to bring across. Have a lot of fun.
I think that's a fair stance. It's one of those things that shouldn't have to be said, but inevitably will as we continue to grow. At the end of the day, as long as you're respecting one another, it's okay to not get along, it's okay to disagree. As soon as you take it to a point of disrespect or antagonization, you're kind of getting in the way of anybody else having a good time by, frankly, being a bit of a jackass. So, don't do that. Either way.
I think it's a good reminder that we are such a multicultural community and people forget that sometimes.
Oh, 100%. There's so many things that can be misinterpreted through the language barrier. Do not forget that, like, just because you read something as rude, give them a grain of salt. Unless you see it as repeated behavior, you know, everybody gets one. Everybody gets one.
Exactly. That's also what I try to resolve often, like, communication doesn't go well. Oh, this person is from Germany. Yeah, I know how they act.
Exactly.
They're my neighbors. I know how they talk. I can resolve that.
Friend, they don't understand humor. It's okay. Your joke would not be received well.
Yeah, exactly. They don't understand humor.
No, I get it. But either way, Nep, so happy to have you here. I hope to have you back again once you achieve some new things. I'm sure you will. This has been the Retro Achievements Podcast. Thank you for listening, and we will see you all next time. Good night.
Bye-bye.